What's up, everybody? We back with another message, and this message today, y'all, just came out of nowhere. I was sitting here, you know, just having a conversation with God about my next message, and he was just telling me to relax and rest because you don't even gotta write it, you ain't gotta listen to me, you already got it, you've already done it, and I ain't know what he meant entirely, but I know what it mean now. So at first, y'all, I'm gonna have to take you back to a couple of months ago. And as y'all know, I've been doing a lot of these messages and warnings and stuff. And it ain't been the easiest thing to do. You know, the behind the scenes, people don't see it. They don't understand it. The enemy try to attack you using other people, and just it's a whole just big thing. And it's just not easy. But God makes it feel easy. But anyway, I was asking him at the beginning of this journey, I said, what? I know the point is to help people and save people's lives, but it just seemed like people just don't care. Like, they don't understand and they don't care, and I just feel like it's a waste of time. And I told him, and you know what he said to me? He said, you have no idea. He says, I appreciate the amount of effort you put in and that you continue to do what I asked you to do. He says, you have no idea the amount of lives that you saving. You may not see it. You may not see it just yet. But he told me, he said, people are you gonna know. It's gonna be evident. It's gonna be obvious. You gonna know. You gonna see it. And he also told me, because I do messages on different channels and do different content in different places. Like, I got a lot going on. And God helped me get that together. And he was telling me about that too. He was saying, this is what he told me. He said, everything starts off small and you go slow. You don't want to take off too fast because you may not be ready, and then you may not be able to capitalize. He said, I promise you. He said, I know you want to help people. I know you want to do these because I can see it in your heart where you stand. But he said, you will be able to do that. And this was months ago. He said, we're just taking it little by little and day by day, because the enemy will try to take advantage of you if you're not knowledgeable in the area. And so, I took that and I said, okay. And now today I'm standing here growing in different places. I'm growing in different places on all different channels. Literally a multi-talented content creator. I've always been that way, but I've never had multiple channels and multiple things, sending messages and then doing things that ain't got nothing to do with content creating for people, and things he's just been asking me to do. Basically just putting in so much work. And y'all, it's tough. It's tough sometimes. You get tired sometimes. You got to go through the enemy's attack sometimes because you're doing things that tick him off. When you work with God, you piss him off. So today, we're going to bring it to today. And he reminded me of my first message. Really big message that I had to do, my first 2 big messages. And I will never forget that morning when I woke up and seen it was a calm morning, and then I felt like somebody was waking me up. And, I felt like somebody was nudging me. And so then everything fell into place for that message video that turned into like an hour or something long. And it was nothing but God telling me, you need to save people's lives, because certain people, there are attacks that are going to be done upon them. And they don't realize, like, that could be deadly. That could lead to the end of their life. So he said, so basically he was telling me, I need you to do these messages so that you can help, so that you can give them the word for me, because they may not see it. And if they choose to listen, their life will be saved, and unnecessary attacks will also not happen to them. And so it was so scary, because he says, you don't have a lot of time. And with God, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's hours, days. I was honestly just focused on doing the right thing. You know, I didn't care about my reputation. That's one thing he wanted to remind me about. I didn't care about my reputation. I didn't care about what happened to my channel. I didn't care about what people thought of me or what people would try to do to me. All my mind was on was the message at hand. Because when he telling me a life and many lives have to be saved and can be, then you listen, you know? And a lot of people don't understand that. Because if you don't do it, what the thing he picked you to do and place you in areas, oh, that's another thing, thank you for reminding me, put you in areas that are tough. Like I never forget, I went to this other messenger and I had been watching him. I've been using some of his stuff in my videos because God would use certain people as confirmation in my beginning days to help me and teach me things, but it also applied to the message at hand. So anyway, so basically what God was telling me and trying to let me know was, that just threw me off, my bad. He was letting me know, like, you don't want people's blood to be on your hands if you don't do it. You don't want people's blood to be on your hands, okay? Because you are responsible and you put in this position. And so when I asked the messenger what was going on when it came to a certain situation, and it led to a conversation of us, I told him, I said, you know, God put me in the gaming world to spread these messages, and it's hard, it's tough. Like, it's rough here. And he says, oh, I know. He says, I know it's gotta be rough. He says, and I know it's tough over there. That's a tough one. And then God reminded me, said, I know you can handle it. He said, I know you can handle it. That's why I put you here. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't nothing. You went through everything you went through and put you in position for today. It wasn't never a mistake. And in this message today, he just kind of reminded me, the message he sent me, he was reminding me, he's saying, it wasn't a mistake where I put you. This was meant to be what it was meant to be. I put you here for a reason. You know? All those times you felt like, where is this going? Or you felt like, who is this helping? Who is this saving? Or just all the worries and the struggles. He said, let it out. He said, let it all out. Let it go. Let it go right here. That's what he was telling me. Let it go here. And we're going to stop that right here. Instead of asking, you know, and thinking, why me? Why me? He goes and let me know, why not you? Why not you? Why not you? I picked you to do this particular thing. So whatever you got going on, let it out. And leave it where it's at and move on. Because you don't got time to be sucking on what was or what if. It's time to do what is. Oh my goodness. So what he want me to tell people today, no matter what you doing, he understand that it gets rough out here, and sometimes you ain't seeing the results and things are not going your way. But had I not listened to him and I gave up when I wasn't getting the results that I wanted to see, that would have affected other people's lives and mine. You know, because it would have shown that I wasn't ready for the next stage in my life, the next season for my life. By you giving up, you have everything to lose. But by you trying, you have nothing to lose. Because you never know what could have came out of you not giving up. Oh, my goodness. Everybody is not picked to do the same thing. You know, you got to think about, as a content creator, what did I get picked to do? Like, what is my talent with this? Is it editing? Is it speaking? Is it being outside the box? You know, it's not just about a content creator. What is it that sets you apart? What is that talent that sets you apart? Are you good with people? You know, it's a lot of, you a good speaker, it's a lot of things. But it also can strengthen your weaknesses. God want to strengthen all our weaknesses. And you know what? What I did, he had me do a self-evaluation with him. He went over strengths, he went over weaknesses. He went over, like, rate certain things, like for messages, and rate how this went. Like, he was literally like how you do, if you ever went to college or you do a job and you give evaluations for employees or anybody, like bosses. That's how it was. And there was a lot more strengths than there were weaknesses, but it was a lot of stuff that weaknesses and I need to work on as a person, you know? And one of those things was, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't try to take on too much. And a lot of us do, okay? At the end of that evaluation, though, he said, regardless of the way this, no matter which way this evaluation came out, you passed regardless, because me and you have a relationship. Me and you know each other. I know you. And that's another thing that he wanted me to speak on. It's a lot of people that do good as people, good things, but don't have a relationship with him. And so the last thing you want to hear from God is, depart from me, I never knew you. Or what's your last name again? Or what's your name? Because when you born, he got a plan for you, but when you slip away from that plan, he no longer knows you. You didn't come up as that person that you were set to be. You strayed away from it. So therefore, he no longer knows you. Because you don't have a relationship. And it's going to be so many people that said I was a good person and I did this. Or some people that did say, I did this in your name and I did that, but never once kept what he calls a secret place with him. And that secret place, a lot of people, you know, say they have a secret place where, you know, they pray for people, communicate. That secret place follows you everywhere. And that's in your heart, your soul, your mind. The main three things: your heart, your soul, your mind. Those are the secret places that because he was explaining to me that don't nobody know nothing about you unless you tell them, you know, what's inside, internal. That's the secret place. And when you communicate all that to him and with him in that secret place, you know, that's their relationship. So he was letting me know, like, hey, let people know the importance. Like, it's okay to want to do what you love to do, and it's okay to be a content creator, but it's not okay to let it engulf your life and not have a balance. That's where it becomes a problem. And right now where we at, you know, I talked about social media, but right now where we at, I see certain things that just are so unnecessary from people, and I'm like, bro, like, come on now. You know, just, you could have put that time into yourself or ask God for something. Like, you could have put time into something more meaningful than to worry about another person. Because, no, you know, it's not easy out here. But when you give up, you fail, y'all. But if you keep fighting, you won't fail. If God tell you to keep going, then you better keep going. Had I not listened and left what was at the door, for forgiving people who did me wrong, to letting go of how I felt about certain things and people and me being treated certain ways, and why do I have to go through this and why did I have to go through that? You know what God told me? Y'all, I felt a certain way for so long at my old job. I felt a certain way for so long because I felt like, why am I always getting put in situations where I have to be the one to put people on my back and carry, and why I always got to be the one to go through this? And it's like, but God said during that time, he said, but the thing that you did notice, he said, you did notice, but you felt some type of way about the situation that overshadowed it, is that you was still standing after all of that. I mean, couldn't nothing stop you? Look at you. You had, during a pandemic in a place that, oh my goodness, we was one of the only people for real working. I was training people and then doing multiple things. Like, we was doing all, I was everywhere. And God told me, he said, you stood up, even being frustrated. And part of me liked helping people. He said, but that showed a piece of yourself. You stood up when other people gave up. And you kept going, even through the minor injuries you had, even through the visits, the issues, you know, health-wise at times. Like, you still pushed through. So if you can do that for that long, if you can endure that for that long, imagine what else you can do when you work with me. Imagine what you can push through when you work with me. He said that was all a setup. You learned who you was. You truthfully did. And now that's going to carry with you forever, because you going to remember that, and ain't nothing, you know. He said that's why the enemy can't stop you today. He been trying through people. He been trying in your sleep. He been trying to get you in the physical world. He just can't touch you. So don't let nobody ever tell you that you can't do nothing, because I said yes. And that's what he's saying to everybody. Now let me read these before I forget. Okay, let me read these before I forget. So we got Ephesians 4:31-32. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice. Be kind to one another and forgiving, as God in Christ forgave you. So God's saying, you know, if you can't forgive people, then why should God forgive you? You know? Let it go. Move on. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Had I leaned into my own understanding and my own experiences and dwelled into all of that and the way people was treating me left and right for no good old reason, and didn't let it go, I would be in my own understanding. And based off my own understanding, it comes with experiences. And that's another thing he's saying. He understands people got different experiences, but you can't dwell in that. You got to let it go so you can see clearly. Because the enemy will use that to blind you and block your paths, or move you into a path that may seem good, but it's only temporarily good, and it's going to cause you to miss what God had intended for you. This world can't give you nothing that God has in store for you. Y'all, God literally is trace my footsteps everywhere I go. I don't know what my day gonna be like, but it always end up forming out to be something that I ain't think it was gonna be sometime in my favor. I'm not even playing. Like, something literally, so yes, here's an example. And before we go over this example, we can read, we got two more. Isaiah 43:18-19. Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing anew. So God said he let it go. That's what I was saying. Let it go, because he got something new for you. But you got to let that go. The old go to go into the new. You can't carry those feelings with you. 1 Peter 5:7. Casting out all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. Get rid of it. Let it go, because it ain't worth holding on to. So I'm going to tell y'all something, because sometimes God will see where your heart stands. And this is another thing he wanted me to clarify for people, because he told me it's a lot of people that watch me that go through things and don't understand it and get frustrated. So he want me to get my experience here. So God mapped out a plan for me. I got, for my 2 cars, I was going to get a car wash and gas. Okay? I had it all planned out. So for one of my cars, I literally got gas and ended up getting a car wash. Or not getting the car wash, I bought it at the same time I got the gas. And it was so many people in line. I said, you know what, next time I come out, I'll just get that car wash. Because I was going to get 2. Get that discount off with the gas, you know what I'm saying? But it was a line. So I said, you know what, forget it. So then I went to take some money out for next month, because that's what another thing that God went over. And as I did that, after I was done with that, the window, so you know, like, the mechanism to have your window go up and down, like it got like disconnected, and the glass literally just went down, and I'm like, what the heck? I said, well, no. I said, why? Like, hold on, this don't make no sense. We just went over this plan. So I'm thinking like, what happened? And then I said, you know what? Not everything gonna go your way. I said, that's okay. I said, that's okay. I was like, God, that's okay. Because you know what? I know it was from you and not the enemy, because if it was from the enemy, I would have rolled my window down, putting the code in for the car wash, and wouldn't have been able to get it back up, and been stuck in a car wash getting hit with all that cleaning stuff. So the line was long and the timing was everything, because had I waited in line, that long line, I would have been screwed. So God didn't screw me over. He just wanted to see where my heart would stand if something went wrong, testing me to see if I would still trust him even if something didn't make sense. So you know what? Okay, that's okay. So I get home, and it's fixed now, so that's good. But I get home, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna let this ruin my day, because what would have ticked me off is I can't even use the car wash now. I would have been mad. I said the other day I would have been mad because I just put gas in this car and I've just spent money on this, but I wasn't mad. So I just took that car wash and did it for the other one, and did my thing, and I said it worked out. Okay, and that didn't work out in my favor, but that was okay, because had I went to that car wash, it would have been stupid. It would have been all bad. But that wasn't God's plan. He just wanted to test me. Things worked out in my favor because I was so close to home too. I had just got my hair cut, and it's cold outside, so I didn't want to drive that long way with no window being able to put up. You get what I'm saying? So that was another thing. What was it? Another thing that didn't work in my favor was, what was it? What was it? No, that's the car story I'm gonna have to tell y'all. But I'm gonna briefly say something about it. So basically, something happened with my car. God did save me in the process. It didn't work out in my favor. It seemed like it didn't work out in my favor, but it did. And that's a whole message for a whole different time. But that was it. Like, anytime something don't go your way, you just gotta tell God. Sometimes you just gotta say thank you, because that might have just saved your life, or it might have redirected you. So whatever is going on in your life, sometimes God will take things away. This is what he wanted me to say. This is the last thing I'm gonna give y'all. Sometimes he will take things away from you because you need to be redirected. He's trying to get you to communicate with him, leave you with nothing, so you ain't got no choice but go, God, please help me. Like, he will do that because he want to help you so badly. He'll take everything away from you and show the people around you that's really got true intentions to hurt you, so he can help you grow. But when he's trying to help you grow, you got to leave all that stuff at the door and listen so you can see clearly. Okay? You can't be why this and why that. I don't understand. It's because you ain't seeing what God got in store for you. You ain't seeing the distractions in your life. You ain't seeing the people that's ready to hurt you. You're not seeing none of that. So don't give up. Don't sit here, and it's a lot of people that are genuinely weak-minded because they allow things to just convince them they ain't good enough. And you got to get out of that, because the enemy will use fear tactics and use a lot of things to control you and stop you from being the person you're supposed to be. So had I been discouraged and gave up with these messages, had I, not listened, I don't know if certain people would be alive today. I don't know if certain people will be in certain positions that God may have had in store for them had I not been one of the checkpoints. And if you are seeing this video, ain't no such thing as coincidences. You know? If you listening to these videos, it's a reason for God trying to tell you, dang, like, listen. If this is something that for you, like, listen. Because this could be you right now, going through something and asking why. But that don't matter, because God can turn that why into a, oh, wow. I never knew that this day would come. So just understand, you gotta keep going. Too many people give up, and they are some of the smartest people too. And they just give up because they're not seeing the results like overnight. No, you don't do that. I want y'all, a lot of people that watch, even when it comes to the gaming content I do for DOA, had I given up on DOA, I wouldn't be here. Y'all wouldn't even be able to watch me do what I do. There would be no me. So stop playing games and get to work and build that relationship so that you can build yourself, and so that you can expand yourself, and so that you can help expand other people if God wants you to. And so then you just expanding and expanding and expanding. It don't stop. Your peace expands, your rest expands, your finances expand, your health expands, everything. But it all starts with you not giving up and you realizing, okay, everything not going my way, so what is God trying to tell me today? Because he a confirmation. He a confirmation master, no doubt about it. I ask God for certain things, and literally quick as day, I see multiple pieces of confirmation. It's a couple of words that I asked confirmation on, and he just like that. So YouTube, then he done told me something, he told me to look up something, then explained it to me before I went to sleep in not even 20 minutes. Oh, he gonna give you confirmation, and he gonna let you know, hey, check it out. And you know what? It's a lot of people too when it comes to he just put this in my, okay. He said a lot of people, if you lose family members, like, but specifically if you somebody that's lost a child or known somebody that's lost a child and it affected you, God says he is the one that gives gifts, children as gifts. They come from him. He gave people that child. Some people don't do right with what the gift he gave, and he takes it away. He takes care of the child. The child in good hands, but he takes them away. He's saying sometimes people have miscarriages because God will be like, well, you still love me and still trust me if this don't go your way. It may sound messed up to people, but God is saying, will you still love me and will you still trust me if something don't go your way? Is the point. Will you still trust me to give you not one but two children because that happened? Will you trust me to do what people said was impossible for you? Hurt can end with peace, endurance, blessings, and everything, but you got to work on yourself. And you got to be willing to let God work everything else out in your life for you. I'm literally a living experience of him taking care of somebody. So that's all I got for y'all, man. I hope y'all, whoever need to hear this, because I sure got hit with it. Peace out, y'all.